Hey everybody, welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Reborn 100 Zaku II FZ. So right here, right in front of us, is the Reborn 100 Zaku II FZ, otherwise known as the Zaku II Kai. What you see here is what you're going to get, straight built, just snapped together, no extra effort, no panel lining, and no decals put on. And for a straight built kit, especially for a Reborn 100 straight built kit, this kit is absolutely stunning looking. The color accuracy, the color separation, this thing has completely set a new bar for the Reborn 100 line of kits. I personally had a blast putting this kit together, and honestly it felt more along the lines of a master grade than a Reborn 100 kit. If you wanted to get one for yourself, I picked this guy up from Amazon for about $40. And if you ask me for what you get just straight out of the box, I think it is definitely worth the price. Although I have a few very tiny gripes with the kit, overall this kit is amazing, especially for a Reborn 100. Now this kit came out last year in July, so it is a bit of a newer kit, so based on the quality of this kit alone, if this is the route that Bandai is taking with the engineering of their up-and-coming Reborn 100 model kits, then I think that the Reborn 100 line has a very promising future. And I mean, I'm just going to get it out of the way right now. If you were to ask me what I think of this kit, this is the gold standard for what Reborn 100 should be. There's no glaring mold lines, the seam lines are for the most part well hidden, the proportions are just perfect, the color separation is on point, and there are no color correcting stickers except for the one on the mono eye, which is amazing. If you see all those little tiny red details across the mobile suit, none of those are stickers, those are all individual red plastic parts. And on top of it all, this kit is absolutely solid as a rock. If you watch the unboxing or the speed builds that I did of this kit, links down in the description, then you may have noticed that there are absolutely no polycaps in this build whatsoever. Every joint is solid plastic. And that means that this kit has absolutely no problem holding any type of pose that you want to put it in. Previously, Reborn 100 kits have been pretty notorious for having really bad polycap joints, and this breaks that mold. So hopefully in the future of the Reborn 100 line, Bandai will keep the ball rolling with these plastic joints and ditch the polycaps entirely. Because you know, if we do ever end up getting a Reborn 100 Kshatriya, like they kind of teased in 2014 and haven't said anything about it since, considering it has those 4 giant funnel pods, I kind of would prefer it to be solid rather than floppy. Anyways, I'm not going to ramble anymore about this kit. Let's get in and take a little bit more of a detailed look at what it has to offer. Now, I did mention that the seam lines are mostly well hidden. Mostly. We have a pretty nasty one right here running along the middle of the shoulder pauldron, and one right here on the top of the chest, although this could kind of be turned into a panel line. You got one running all the way through the middle of the backpack. You get one that runs down the side of the upper thigh on both sides as well. As you can also see right here, these rubber yellow hoses, these have a mold line that's pretty visible, and it runs down the center of all of them. And let me actually take a minute to talk about these yellow hoses on the kit. I really like them. I think they're an amazing addition. They make the build so much nicer. There's no more putting those little individual rings on there. They don't limit the movement at all, and they just look great. You know, some people may really prefer putting the individual plastic ringlets onto a tube, but I really like it this way. It is up to personal preference though. Moving on to the size comparison, here is the Reborn 100 Zaku II FZ next to the Master Grade 1/100th Gym Sniper 2, another mobile suit featured in 0080. As you can see, they're basically around the same height, but the Zaku is a little bit taller. So now that we've taken a look at the mobile suit itself, let's take a look at the Zaku II FZ's accessories. Here's the Reborn 100 Zaku II FZ with everything that he comes with straight out of the box. We have 2 extra option parts for the top of the head, 4 different hands total, a heat hawk with an extra blade and 2 different length handles, a couple of hand grenades, a conventional machine gun with 2 magazines, and an action base adapter. So now let's take a more in-depth look at all of his accessories. Starting off with the different head parts right here already put on the kit, we have the standard head that we saw Bernie use in 0080. In order to change it out, all you have to do is just pop it right off, and then you just have to take the clear visor off, and it is kind of tricky sometimes because it really likes to sit in there very securely. As for the options we have to change it, we have a standard head with the command fin, and then we also have this very different looking one called the Fritz helm. Just pop that clear visor right back into whichever head part you want to use, and then slap it back on top of the Zaku's head, simple as that. So here's what the Zaku II FZ will look like with the standard head with the command fin, and here is what it will look like with the Fritz helm on. As for hands, we get 2 closed hands. These can either be used for idle positions or for holding the heat hawk. We get a right hand only trigger finger for holding the conventional machine gun. We also get a left hand only open hand, which can also be used to help stabilize the machine gun. We get these little hand grenades right here, and there are 3 of these. This is kind of the collapsed form of the hand grenade, and these are meant to be mounted on the side skirt. We also have hand grenades in the fully extended form. Now these are made to be held in the actual hands, and the manual says that there are supposed to be 2 of these and 3 of the collapsed form, but they only give you enough parts to almost make all of them. For example, if you make all 3 of the collapsed form, you can only make 1 full extended grenade. You can kind of parts form 2 extended grenades, but that leaves you with only 2 collapsed ones. I'm not really sure why they didn't just throw in an extra cap here so you could have 3 of the collapsed and 2 of the extended. It's kind of weird. Now let's talk about the machine gun. Now this thing is really cool in my opinion, not a whole lot going on, but it looks really sweet. You will notice there is a pretty nasty seam line running down the middle of it, so have fun fixing that if that's something that bothers you. On the backside we have a folding stock that can flip up, and it can also be flipped back down to have a really flush fit with the bottom and back side of the gun. It looks really cool. And there's also a grenade launcher on the front. Not functional, but it looks cool. The machine gun also comes with 2 magazines. You can just slip that thing in there like so, and that thing's not going anywhere. That's a pretty solid connection. However, we do have that extra magazine, so what can we do with that? Well, we can open up this part of the side skirt, which is storage specifically for that extra magazine. Now, my first genuine gripe about this kit comes with these magazines, actually. If you flip them around to the backside, you will see they are hollow. Yikes. I mean, in my opinion, this really cheapens the look. It looks fine from all the other angles, but if you look at it from the back, ew, it's gross. Of course, it's not the end of the world. It's a very minor flaw, but it's still a flaw nonetheless. So we do get an action base adapter with this kit, and it basically works the exact same as you would expect it to. Just slide it on, it stays there, and you can plug the kit onto an action base. Now let's talk about the Heat Hawk. I love this thing. This is probably one of the best Heat Hawks I've seen on a Zaku. The color separation is really just bar none. It looks really great. And that is definitely not something I expected to see out of a Reborn 100 kit. However, right here, ew, look at that, more hollow parts. I don't know why these are here. It cheapens the look. I don't like it. Now we do have 2 option parts for the handle. The one I have equipped right now is the long one for holding, but we also get a short one for storage. This is what it looks like with the short one, and when you have this equipped, you can just clip it right onto that handle on the back skirting of the Zaku, and it will stay there. In order to put it in his hand, you have to take the back of the hand off, slot the Heat Hawk right into the hand, and line up these little pegs into the holes in the hand. And these pegs actually provide a really secure connection. This thing is seriously not letting go of that Heat Hawk anytime soon. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but we do get an extra blade part. If you wanted to, you could custom paint this to be kind of a bright orange in order to create an effect like the Heat Hawk was activated. Otherwise, I guess you really just have a useless extra part on your hands. Now, if we look at the art on the front of the box, we can see the Zaku II fighting the Gundam Alex, right? So that would lead one to assume that this is the Zaku II FZ from Gundam 0080, right? So it would also be cool if they had included a pilot figure of Bernard Wiseman, right? Well, they didn't, and there's no pilot figure standing or seated included with this kit. But don't worry guys, it's okay. I had one custom made. And no, I definitely did not go to McDonald's just to get a burger just for the sake of that visual gag. Anyways, the last thing that we're going to get in the box is this sheet of sticker style decals. And you can see right here, the only color correcting sticker we have in this entire box on this entire kit is the one for the mono eye. And the rest of these that you see are just markings and logos. None of them are truly necessary to create a super accurate look. I personally won't be using any of these most likely because I do not really like sticker style decals. You can't use Mark Softer on them. You can't do anything about the extremely visible sticker edges that they come with, and especially on darker plastic, that's going to be really visible. So that's all for the Zaku II FZ's accessories. Honestly, if you asked me, I think they're very good. They surpassed my expectations for what it would have. I'm very happy with them. So let's move right along from the accessories into the articulation of this kit. And this really is another area where this kit shines. Taking a look at the head first, we have a really nice forward and back sliding motion here. The head can spin all the way around, there's the head all the way up, and there's the head all the way down. If we take the head off, we can rotate the mono eye with a little peg underneath. I would have really liked to see the auto moving mono eye gimmick that we see in a lot of the modern Zionic mobile suit kits, but this is acceptable. Now, a shoulder mounted shield has a few points of articulation. It's attached to the shoulder by a ball joint. Unfortunately, this is a pretty loose connection. The shoulder likes to pop off at this joint a lot, but it's pretty easy to put back on. It's just kind of annoying if you're fiddling with it. We also get one more point of articulation that allows for a bit of a swivel motion. The arm can spin all the way around at the shoulder like so, arms all the way out to the side, full 360 at the shoulder, another full 360 at the elbow, very nice bend at the elbow. The wrist is just a standard ball joint. Shoulder pauldron moves out and can wiggle around a little bit. Nice forward range of motion for the arms here. Side to side at the waist. Waist can spin a little bit. At first glance, we don't really get much in terms of an ab crunch. However, if you do pull this front part up and out, it can pull off a slightly more impressive ab crunch. Front skirt flips up, side skirt moves up and can rotate a little bit on a peg. Same with the other side. No movement on the rear skirt. We get a full 360 at the top of the leg, all the way out to the side. Yes, it can do the splits. Very impressive front kick, leg all the way back. Very nice double jointed bend at the knee. Average side to side motion with the feet. Bend at the toe, foot all the way up, ankle skirting flips out, and foot all the way back. So that's going to be all for the articulation. As you can see, this guy is super poseable. I mean, toss him up on an action base, you're going to get basically any pose you want out of him. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for the review. Overall, this kit gets a big thumbs up from me. I think it's really paving the way for better Reborn 100 kits in the future. I definitely recommend that you go pick this kit up if you haven't built one already, if you're looking for a fun, fast, simple, and easy build, but a build that is solid nonetheless. If you're a fan of the early Zeon suits and Zaku's in particular, you will love this kit. Hands down the best Reborn 100 I've built so far, and so far it is my favorite Zaku kit I've built as well. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. If you liked the video and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe to my channel and leave a like on the video because it helps out a whole lot. And if you want to be notified of every time I upload a video, make sure to ring that bell if you haven't already to have subscription notifications on. If you'd like to watch my other reviews, my unboxings, or my speed builds, the links to all those playlists will be down there in the description. One last thing, if you want any updates on the channel, updates on future content, or just to know what I'm doing in general, make sure to follow me over on Twitter, link also in the description. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you for watching, and remember, keep your eyes to the skies. Until next time, this has been YouSeeGundam, signing out.